Whoa, what is this meant to be? Is this meant to be that Spider-Man thing?
Yes, it is.
No. F this. Jimmy, get me back up there, son. Get me back up. Come on now, quickly.
Please don't go. Let's want some love.
I'm King Ross, and I am the reigning and defending WCPW champion of the world. Until somebody earns it and I have to give it over to them. Anyway, here are all the WTF Moments from WCPW Loaded, episode 2. So the WhatCulture Heavyweight Championship, the cardboard version of this bad lad here, was destroyed by Rampage Brown in episode 1. Yet at the very start of episode 2, it was just there between myself and Miller. Continuity error, that is WhatCulture. Think about things. Bloody amateurs. WCPW General Manager Adam Parmesan inferred that WWE is a less successful company than WCPW. Oh, I'll just leave it there, just to fester in your tiny little pea brain minds, because it sure as hell boggled mine. When Blonde Page finished their promo and walked off the screen, and you can hear WhatCulture Wrestling's leading heel Adam Blompier ask if his promo was okay. I mean, talk about a kayfabe shatterer or what? He's the leading heel. He shouldn't care what people think about his promos. Are the best thing in the world, aren't they? No. Who edited this anyway? That's what I want to know. Who edited it? Terrible error. Hell, terrible error. It's Miller o'clock, everybody, and after I utter the fantastic sentence of bleeding like a stuck pig, the way it's meant to be said, Miller responds with, what does a stuffed pig bleed like? I'm going to take you behind the curtain here, so to speak, because before we shot the company for last week's episode, myself and Miller had a stern tell-off from our producer. Yes, we do have one of those about the difference between a stuck pig and a stuffed pig. Yet he still f***ed up. It's Ross o'clock. Aye, that part where I said back to the drinking board because I thought it was a hilarious play on back to the drawing board. I've got nothing for you lads. I've just prepared a brief statement about my error. I apologise to my family, friends and fans for the mistake during my commentary of WCPW episode 2. No excuses, I own it. Thank you for your time. And it's Kenny o'clock, yes, professional broadcaster / WhatCulture podcast host Kenny McIntosh also makes a mistake. Why on earth do you keep saying back to ringside before the segments with me and Miller in the studio? That's the question I need to ask. I mean, I don't know if I should be saying this, but it's almost as if the action in the ring was filmed a full 2 weeks before the commentary. Then the commentators didn't have access to the cutscenes between the matches. Simple one this, when the lovely Jennifer Louise called Prince Amin, my brother from another mother, Prince Ameem. Slip of the tongue there. I better find a meme of Prince Amin then, shall I? That moment when Joseph Connor's graphic didn't load properly. Bit ironic, isn't it, considering we produce a show called Loaded. One I've been forced to put in once again. We're back to this shit from last week, but when I condoned the use of recreational drugs live on air. Nothing wrong with that. Gan Raj and neck cowies, lads. Just do it. That's nice, isn't it? Brace yourself, lads. It's Miller and Ross o'clock. It's a double whammy. Oof, this is going to hurt. It's the moment when myself, Miller, and the crowd in the arena, in fact, thought that Joe Hendry was making his entrance, but it wasn't. It was Joseph Connors. By gum, we're f***ing idiots, aren't we? That moment when Joseph S. Hendry, who is paid by WhatCulture to do the wrestling, besmirched WhatCulture by saying he can do more than just write lists. Oh, that's going to get hit with the boys in this particular office, I tell you. Aye. Watch out, Joe. If it wasn't for those lists of ours, you wouldn't have this extra nice little payday. But getting back behind that curtain, lads and lasses, because you probably sat there wondering why myself and Miller were talking over all the action inside the ring. You know, when Amin and Kid and Hendry and Connors were talking to each other. Me and Miller were just talking over the top of that. Like, we didn't give a about what they were saying. Well, imagine this, if you will. Imagine two novice commentators like myself and Miller just being given the hard camera footage. None of the little in-the-ring stuff, none of that malarkey. Just the basic hard cam footage. You'd think a pair of novices would get a helping hand or two, wouldn't you? But not at WCPW, just thrown into the lion's den with no sword or shield or whatever they used back in the day. Right then, as if Prince Amin sleeping with 10,000 women overall isn't a WTF moment, the fact he's notched 3,000 more in just 7 days is? Me, that's boggled my mind. Let's do the math, shall we? So we've got 3,000 women. We'll divide that by 7 for his daily total of 428. Then we'll divide that by 24 for his hourly total, which is 17. I mean, good God. I don't even want to think about what that is a minute. Doesn't last very long, does he? His bowels must be the size of raisins. It's 10 past, Ross, I think. Might be more, might be less, I don't care. Anyway, the moment where I say the Rubik's Cube is a Russian thing, when in fact it's Hungarian. I mean, my off-screen servant Jimmy told me that it was Russian. So he saw me right up the river there, hasn't he? The little bastard. Next time I'll see him, I'll give him a severe beating. Jay Lethal, the Ring of Honor World Champion, no less, appearing on WCPW's first ever show. WTF moment. We're back onto Miller's clock now. In that moment when he thought the crowd were chanting, "Let's go Lethal, let's go Ligero." They were chanting, "Let's go Lethal, El Ligero." Those small details I like to pick up and smash out the park. Miller, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. That prick in the crowd chanting El Torito and El Ligero just because he's horny, you know? Just because he's horny like Torito is. An idiot. I bet he wasn't saying that after that classic match, eh? I bet you weren't expecting to see such a good match on WCPW so early on in its life. WTF moments everywhere. We're back to Miller o'clock again. Is it past yet? Anyway, Jay Lethal makes a valiant last-ditch kick out at 2 and Miller shouts, "Kicked out at 3!" If he kicked out at 3, that means he'd lost the match because the 3 count would have been made. Idiot. When my boy and your favourite Martin Kirby interrupted the main event match, which was looking like being an all-time classic. I'm not even overselling this, lads. Go and watch it. Unbelievable match. Anyway, Kirby interrupts, and there's another up finish in a WCPW match. Who books this shit? Oh yeah, it's Adam the Blonde PA. That's smart arse. Ding. Idiot. Star Wars Episode 2, The Phantom Menace, is my favourite Star Wars film, and Jar Jar Binks is the greatest Star Wars character ever. We're going back behind that curtain, lads, because this was a joke I made in the WhatCulture office a few weeks ago, which was lambasted. People just didn't get it. And judging by the comments section and tweets sent to me, the bloody smarks out there that watch WCPW didn't get it either. It was a joke, all right. Still, it's the greatest one I've seen because it's the only one I've seen. I didn't like Star Wars. He's got him in some form of... He's got his ankle. It's Miller o'clock in, motherfuckers, because those were the words that came out of Simon Miller's mouth when Noam Dar had his champagne super knee bar locked in on Rampage Brown. I mean, this is Noam Dar, who's in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic, who's wrestled all over the world, and Miller doesn't even know what his finishing move is. You may be wondering to yourself, King Ross, why did you not correct him? Well, the answer is because I was corpsing in the corner. I can't lie to you. That's it for the WTF moments from episode 2 of WCPW Loaded. Bye.